Ladies and gentlemen, we've got some pretty sad news today. A French streamer has passed away in his sleep at age 46 while live on stream. That's right, Jean Pormanove has passed away on day 10 of his subathon where he was streaming 24/7. Unfortunately, this isn't just a case of natural causes. It seems like there was a lot going on in this subathon that should not have been allowed to go on. Now, I'm not going to show the videos of what exactly his friends, quote unquote, were doing to him. Basically, during the subathon, Jean was the butt of all the jokes, and I use the word jokes very loosely there because they were basically straight up doing horrible things to this man. I won't show any videos of it. I'm sure there are other creators who will show the videos, but I don't think it's right to show the videos of what they were doing to this poor guy, especially because some of it was so bad. It was, physical harm. So obviously I'm not going to show that. Unfortunately, just before Jean passed away, he sent a message to his mother. Pormanove said he felt like he was being held hostage and that he was fed up with the streams. That's right, this poor guy actually felt like he was being held hostage and forced to stream. That's horrific. I don't know how this happens. Now, this was on Kick, which is, a little bit of a looser platform when it comes to the rules, but even on Kick, some of the stuff that they were doing to this poor guy shouldn't have been allowed. And I honestly think if it was an English-speaking channel, it would have been banned well before this. We'll get into it later, but I think it being French, they have a different moderation team, and it's probably not as prominent. But besides that, this could have been stopped months ago. In January 2025, Naruto and Safine, who are two people involved with this situation, two of his co-streamers in the subathon, people who were allegedly participating in the physical harm that came to him during the subathon, they were taken into custody on suspicion of producing live videos of the humiliation of vulnerable people before being released the same day of their arrest. Now, the humiliation of vulnerable people, it is believed that this arrest was in relation to Jean and some of the stuff they were doing to him on stream back in January. However, unfortunately, they were set free. I don't know if they were actually faced charges for that arrest, but it doesn't seem like they did, and if they had been kept off the streets or told to stay away from him, this may not have happened. Especially bad because the French authorities in this arrest seem to have classified Jean as a vulnerable person, in which case it means he probably didn't have a lot of agency to stop what was happening to him. Now, Kick has actually issued a statement. They say, "We are deeply saddened by the passing of Jean Pormanove and extend our heartfelt condolences to his family, friends, and community. All co-streamers who participated in this live broadcast have been banned pending the ongoing investigation. We are committed to fully cooperating with the authorities in this process. Additionally, we have terminated our collaboration with the former French social media agency and are undertaking a comprehensive review of our French content. Our priority is to protect creators and ensure a safer environment on Kick." Overall, I do think this was a good response from Kick, saying that they banned the streamers involved and that they're cooperating with authorities and that they've cut out the collaboration with a French social media agency. I believe this is in regards to some posts or t-shirts sold that reference Jean, but I do think that part of the problem with what happened on Kick and why this wasn't caught sooner and why they weren't banned sooner was simply because they speak French. If I had to guess, I would say that Kick has the exact same setup that a lot of other companies have, where the majority of their moderation staff is based around English language streams. So for instance, even on Twitch, if you're an English language streamer, you have a much harsher moderation team looking at you because there's just more moderators that are hired to look at the English streams because there's just more English streams than there are people streaming in other languages. So when it comes to French, obviously there's not as many French streamers as there are English streamers, so there's less French moderators. And that goes for Kick, that goes for Twitch, that goes for YouTube, because they have to prioritize moderation in the places where there's more streamers, and obviously that's not France. Unfortunately, that allowed a lot of stuff to slip through the cracks here, and it's not just on Kick. A lot of people are blaming this entirely on Kick. However, before they moved to Kick, the exact same stuff that was happening on this subathon was in fact happening on Twitch, because that's where they were before they moved to Kick. So it's not just a Kick problem, it's an industry problem that these people in foreign language streams are getting away with a lot of crazy stuff, and they're going to have to fix that. Now, France has actually launched an investigation into the death of Jean and the mistreatment of him. They're investigating the co-streamers, they're investigating Kick. In fact, Aiden Ross actually says that the government is getting involved to investigate both Kick and the streamers, and let's take a listen to what Aiden Ross has to say.
French streamer Jean, I don't want to mispronounce his name to be disrespectful at all. Jean has passed away in the sleep at age 46 during day 10 of a marathon stream. Now, this is horrible. Okay, this is I could say words that wouldn't even make up for how bad this situation is. This is such a fucked up situation. It's such a fucked up thing to happen, and it's heartbreaking, bro. It's heartbreaking. The more I look into it, the more I see about it, and I just think that here's what I know. I can tell you guys. Kick is being heavily investigated. Whoever was streaming that is being heavily investigated. I know that the police are getting involved, the governments are getting involved. and justice for Jean is what's needed. And it won't even bring his life back. You know, no matter what I say, no matter what is done, no amount of money brings back a life that was a streamer who happened to stream on my platform, right, on Kick. And it's absolutely fucking horrible, and it's very disturbing. And me and Drake spoke about it. We want to cover the funeral costs, and like I said, that's just the least we could do. There's no words, bro. There's absolutely no fucking words.
That's right. Aiden Ross confirmed that the French authorities are looking into Kick and the other streamers, and he's also offered to pay for the funeral expenses alongside Drake, which I think is a good step in the right direction. Now, do I think Kick should do that instead of just Aiden Ross directly? Probably, but at the same time, I don't know if the family would want that. If I was in their shoes, I don't know if I'd want Kick to pay for it. It's a hard situation, and there really is no good coming out of it. It's just horrific, especially with the videos being shared around of what was happening to him. I mentioned earlier that Kick has banned the streamers involved, and we talked about that when we were looking at the Kick response here, but one of the streamers involved is claiming that he's being cyberbullied by people who are upset about Jean's death. That's right, one of the streamers named Naruto has filed a cyberbullying complaint with the Paris Prosecutor's Office Cyber Hate Division, targeting those who have harassed Naruto since Pormanove's death. Now, of course, I don't think you should harass anybody involved. I have faith that the police will handle this situation and punish people accordingly, especially with the amount of eyes on this case. I don't think that they could possibly get away with not going after the people involved, so I don't think you need to harass anybody. In fact, you should never go harass anybody that I talk about in my videos, no matter what. However, I do think that it is absolutely ridiculous that somebody involved with the tormenting of this poor guy has the gall to go up to the courthouse and say that he's being cyberbullied, when he was just straight up bullying this guy to the point that the guy eventually died. It's despicable, and I genuinely believe that he must be a completely heartless, horrible human being to even have the gall to claim that he's being cyberbullied after this. It's just disgusting. Anyway, that's all I can stomach to talk about on this. Sorry for the sadder and more, reserved video today, guys, but it was important to cover this. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think that these people should all go to jail? How long do you think they should go to jail for? Personally, I'd say probably life in prison, because some of the stuff they were doing was just horrific. Anyway, thank you so much for watching all the way till the end. Remember to like and subscribe. Have a great day, and God bless you.